Smokey! Now we wait. Well, we got one. I'm sure the other one's not far behind. You always drink so slow. We'll let you go ahead and get started, I guess. You're gonna be done by the time he gets up here. Well, finally, bottle calf number 2 showed up. I don't know why. When I call him, the black one will come running right away, and Smokey just sits out in the field and cries until he finally decides, yeah, maybe I'll walk up there to where I get fed every day and eat something. There. You already had some, dude. That's the difficult thing about if one calf finishes the bottle first, then he just, you know, tries to steal the bottle from the other calf. So what I do is just let whoever finishes first suck on my finger or something to keep them occupied so they're not headbutting the other one out of the way to get his bottle. But this video is not about calves. It's about how calves are made. It's a big day, boys. It's the day you've been waiting for. Today is the day that these 2 bulls are going to go out with the main cow herd and start planting the seeds for our 2025 calf crop. That's what's going on today on Farmer Tyler Ranch. So for those of you that don't know, these are my 2 herd bulls, Rivet and Little Boy. And yes, Little Boy's name is sort of meant to be a joke because we know he's going to be anything but little. Rivet is a Sim Angus. His genetic makeup is half Black Angus, 3/8 Simmental, and 1/8 Charolais. That's where he gets that color from. And if you've been with the channel, you see that his calves most often take on that light colored coat. Little Boy over here, on the other hand, is a 100% Black Angus bull, and he can only throw calves that are black. Both bulls are just over 2 years old, and I don't think they're fully grown yet. We're gonna weigh them before I put them out with the cows just to see where they're at. They spend a lot of their time standing here at the gate, gazing longingly out at the cow herd, and I know they want nothing more than to get out with them. So let's get them over the scale, get them turned out, and they can get to work. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Bigger things to do today than eat weeds. Go, go. First bull on the scale is Little Boy, and he is coming in at 1576. This says that he's been gaining 1.4 pounds per day since the last time I weighed him, which might mean something if I could remember when that was. Rivet here is tipping the scales at 1,726 pounds. And it looks like his average daily gain is 1.28 pounds per day. I assume the last time I weighed these guys was after they got done with the breeding last year, so they might have been down a little bit, but they have both gotten bigger and heavier since last year. Let's go. Gates open, girls are coming. Come on. Come on, boys. The way that I get my cattle bred on my operation is natural service within a defined window. Natural service meaning I'm letting the bulls do the work within the defined window that I choose. For me, that defined window is about mid-June till maybe September. I might leave the bulls out longer, just depending on what's going on, but I would certainly expect all of the cows to be bred by then. And because all of the cows are getting bred at roughly the same time, all the calves are being born at roughly the same time, and there are several advantages to doing that. The first one is strategic utilization of my feed resources. Since my calves are born in the springtime, that also happens to be the time of year when the grass is most plentiful and most nutritious, and it also happens to be the same time of year where the cow's feed requirements are highest. Next is efficiency of labor. During calving season, I'm checking on these cows at least twice a day, oftentimes 3 times a day, but fortunately I only have to do that for about 2 to 3 months while I'm waiting for the calves to be born. If I had a year-round calving season, I would have to dedicate that level of attention to the herd year-round, which quite honestly is just not realistic to do. There's a lot of other things that need to be done on a ranch other than just checking on the cows. And lastly, of course, would be the calf crop management. Since all the calves are roughly the same age, I can manage them as one large group. When it's time to castrate, when it's time to wean, we can do those things to everybody because everybody is in the same stage of life. Plus, when it's time to sell the calves, you do a lot better when you have large groups of calves that are roughly the same age and same size. Another question that I get asked a lot is why do natural service versus AI, which in this context stands for artificial insemination. AI is a great tool that certainly has its place in this industry, but I just don't really feel like it has its place on my operation. And what it boils down to for me is just the labor versus reward equation that just doesn't work out in my case. In order to artificially breed cattle, you have to give them hormone shots a couple weeks apart. So that would mean every couple of weeks I would have to get the entire herd through the chute, give them their shots, and then once everybody got synced up, you would have to run them all through the chute again to get them bred. So just to get them bred, we're through the chute about 3 times, and in a best case scenario, an AI breeder will probably have like a 70 to 75% conception rate. So what is commonly done is after you AI your cows, usually guys will turn out what's known as a cleanup bull. And the cleanup bull's job is to go around, find the cows that didn't take to AI and get them bred. So in other words, if I was to AI breed this entire herd, I would still have to have bulls, still have to turn bulls out just like I'm doing now, with all the added stress and labor that comes along with synchronization and getting everybody ready to go. This does make sense for certain producers, and that would be small producers, you know, let's say have 5 cows or something like that. It's not that big of an undertaking to just run your 5 cows through your chute and do all the hormones, get everybody synchronized, and go that route. And it probably doesn't make sense for somebody with so few females to own a bull, because owning a bull comes with plenty of its own challenges as well. And then the other producers that would really gain from artificial breeding would be purebred producers or seed stock producers, because they could ship in these really fancy genetics, get those genetics into their cows, therefore getting them into their calf crop, where they can then get a premium for those genetics because they are not just selling at an auction. They're going to be selling at purebred sales or something like that, where people are there expecting to pay more for those genetics. I've got nothing against AI, but it just doesn't make sense in my operation. Regular viewers will know that this year I had pretty much made up my mind that I was going to split the herd into 2 halves and put 1 bull with 1 half and 1 bull with the other. The purpose of doing this is that I could extend the amount of time that I could keep my bulls as breeding bulls in this herd, because I could control the breeding a little bit more intensively and prevent any sort of inbreeding or anything like that. And I do still intend to do that, but I was thinking about it and I really don't need to do it this year. By splitting the herd to breed, you accomplish 2 things. The first thing is that you can then later on down the line identify the sire of each individual calf based on which cow she came out of and which bull that cow was with. But as I learned this year, it's going to be pretty easy to identify who sires are of each individual calf. Rivet's calves come out almost exclusively that white smoky gray color, or he had a few this year that were solid red. Whereas Little Boy, the Black Angus bull, can only make black calves or possibly like a black-white face, but either way, sire identification is actually pretty easy with these 2. The other reason to split the herd would be to prevent the bulls from breeding their own daughters. But these bulls don't have any daughters that are old enough to get bred, so again, this is not an issue. So if you were wondering why I didn't split the herd this year like I've been saying I was going to do, that's why. Splitting the herd and running them separately like I was planning on doing would come with a lot more work, a lot more organization and management, which I'm fine to do, but it just kind of seemed foolish to go through the extra trouble when I really don't need to, at least not yet. Bull turnout. It's always an exciting day. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and I hope I'll see you again on Farmer Tyler Ranch.